Whoa. Guys, we got ourselves a Matrix Resurrections official trailer 2. Last week was a Deja Vu trailer. All these titles in the movie trailer starts saying trailer 2. It took me like a little while after uploading to be like, I don't think this is the real trailer 2. This is the real trailer 2 now.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention a couple things really fast. I got a special vid in the works right now. I can't say much about it, but it involves the Matrix cast, and that's all I'll say. Yeah. Secondly, they're putting The Matrix out in IMAX for a temporary release. You guys should go check it out, man. Matrix is my favorite movie of all time, tied with T2 Judgment Day. I obviously love a certain kind of genre. Let's see what's going on and then talk about it afterwards.
We can't see it, but we're all trapped inside these strange repeating loops.
Room 101.
Billions of people just living out their lives. Oblivious.
Well, that's a clue.
Yeah.
But this is the moment for you to show us what is real. I remember this.
Damn right you do.
It's the construct.
So deja vu. And yet it's obviously all wrong. Maybe this isn't the story we think it is.
They taught you good. Made you believe their world was all you deserved. But some part of you knew that was a lie.
Whoa.
Some part of you remembered what was real.
It's so easy to forget how much noise the Matrix pumps into your head.
Wow.
Something else makes the same kind of noise.
Whoa. War.
Yo! Nice. JPS.
What happens to Neo?
They just flat out revealed who that must be.
The most important choice in Neo's life.
Bathroom
Not his
fight.
to make.
She believed in me. It's my turn to believe in her.
Part of me feels like I have been waiting my whole life for you.
Yes.
If you want to see Trinity again, fight for her!
Chills everywhere right now.
I saw this in a dream.
Oh. Wow.
My dream ended here.
Oh no. Yeah, I think my theory's right that I said in the last video.
Yeah.
I still know Kung Fu.
Yeah, you do. Of course you do. Can't forget that.
Way to have it escalate into this like doom and gloom vibe and stakes and then cap it off with a this is still as badass. Love it. Loved it. Love that trailer. Oh my God, I got thoughts. Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught my reaction to the Deja Vu trailer, but basically the theory that I was coming up with combing the footage, like the two ones were linked to Trinity and Jonathan Groff's character. I mean, a lot of us were kind of thinking that he might be some rendition of Agent Smith. The way they edit this especially seems to be like, no, he's Agent Smith resurrected. I still feel like he's not exactly that. I'm wondering if he has more control over the situation than what the trailer's letting on, because in the first Matrix movie, this trailer flat out says it's deja vu, we're in a loop, and a lot of it's harkening back especially to the first Matrix movie. However, they also have the line of it might not be exactly what we think it is, and there's something along the lines of what we've seen with, if you combine all the footage we've got of Jonathan Groff, this seems like a lot of what we're watching unfold be sort of a manipulation of his design in some way. That's just kind of the impression that I'm sort of getting. And then with Trinity, I feel like I'm pretty right about it for what I was guessing in the Deja Vu trailer, because it became more abundant abundantly clear here. When Neo eventually becomes unplugged, a big part of his mission in the real world is to find Trinity herself and help unplug her, help save her, because there was like that footage in the last trailer. They had her design and she was all the Matrix codes. And so I think Jonathan Groff is, for some reason, with this 7th design of the Matrix, he's using a former Matrix to have better control over it so he can control it, because Agent Smith, he sought control in the first movie. He wanted to break out of the Matrix. He hated it. And then ultimately he became the big powerhouse villain. So if they are doing like a riff on Agent Smith, I would imagine that he's not just another guy who's like, I want out of here, Mr. Anderson. I think he's going to be a character who is somehow using all this to control the Matrix himself.
Yeah, using literally the past that we're all aware of, and perhaps even implanting it or allowing it to exist within Neo's memories as, you know, Mr. Anderson's memories, as a means of further diluting what could be the truth and leading him further away from believing in that as the truth. I am fascinated by the little things with that character too, because, you know, like they show the mouth melting moment on him instead of somebody like Neo, and if he's in the power position, I'm like, okay, is that a further like deception he is playing forward towards Neo, or is there something about that character that maybe isn't an agent at first or something like that?
I don't think he's an agent. No, I don't think he's an Agent Smith. I feel like he's kind of embodying the role of that to kind of mess with Neo's mind a little bit. Or, I mean, he might be. I don't know. He seems like more than just a resurrected Agent Smith is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, for sure. Something different in nature, but maybe having or ending up in a similar place.
Because I think thematically, you know, like every Matrix movie has explored a different thing. That's probably someone calling me to tell me about a Matrix trailer dropping. Because I think thematically, you know, every Matrix movie has explored something different from this whole philosophical, religious, spiritual aspects, identity, choice, capitalism. There's a whole lot of themes that just keep piling on. Looking at the first trailer, seeming to hone in on therapy and trauma. This one especially seems to be like the power comes from accepting your past and not suppressing it, which is more of an emotion. Like, I mean, emotional can be very subjective, especially when it comes like to the trans community, of how they've really seen a lot of themselves represented. What I'm getting at is that a lot of the powers that seems for Neo, at least in his awakening, is coming through with accepting his past and not suppressing it, which I think is a good message for a lot of people, because a lot of us often suppress our pain or suppress our trauma, and instead of, you know, dealing with it, the trauma is slowly overtaking us and controlling our lives in ways we are completely unaware of. And that seems to be kind of what's happening with Neo here in the first half of the movie, is that he's kind of just walking numbly through life, and then now he's slowly rising back into his power. And that seems to be the theme for all the characters. So resurrection seems to also be a play on acceptance.
Yeah, well, and from what it looks like in that first half, they bring him in to almost verify things. I forget what the line is, but they're showing the mirror scene, and then they also have a mirror set up for him to touch. So it's like using your past experiences and your past memories, confronting them, embracing them, and using them to help lead us forward, or something to that effect. It made me question certain aspects of the editing here, made me question the real world, the harvesting fields and stuff like that, because a lot of that monologue that I think it's Jessica Henwick says about, you know, like the real world might not even be, or the nature of this might not be as it seems. I'm wondering if maybe they're going to throw in another twist of like what we thought was the real world before it also isn't the real world, or something like that.
Well, actually, you know what I'm thinking about too is that so much of the Matrix trilogy deals with destiny and choice. There's that line in the first Matrix movie of Neo doesn't believe in destiny because he doesn't like the idea he's not in control of his own future. Wondering if all these things dealing with the past, one version of the protagonist is accepting his past so he can have a control over the outcome of his future, and then you got the character like Jonathan Groff who's using the past to control. And I love that thematically, because you've heard that saying before, don't let the past control you. And so if you have like a physical representation of that, and actually come to think about it, with this being called Matrix Resurrections, and if this is indeed dealing with, you know, like a form of PTSD, a big part of not overcoming trauma in psychology is a thing called recreation, where we end up recreating events from our past, especially when we don't overcome it. So I feel like that's also going to be an element at play here, and maybe that loop line has something to do with it too. I don't know. It's the whole thing about the Matrix. It's all up to interpretation. Oh, that would be neat. And then you have Jada Pinkett Smith, return Naobi. I guess in the real world, everything just went to shit.
Yeah,
Never got better in Zion after that little fake peace treaty they had, I guess. Yeah.
Nah, things can never be good in Zion.
Well, I mean, there's so much to unpack, and the movie comes out very soon, and I hope people tune in for it in the actual theaters and not just on HBO Max. I feel like it's going to have a bit of an uphill battle just because it's week after Spider-Man No Way Home. At least in the States. I know, like, other parts of the world, this will probably do really well, but at least in the States, you know, it's got a bit of an uphill battle. I'm excited, man. It's the freaking Matrix.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
get it going. Let's get it going. Obviously, love the hell out of this franchise. Subscribe, click that bell, hit that like button, and we'll catch you guys soon. Oh yeah, and the action looks great as always.